Good morning, everybody. It's Jenny Norris coming to you live. This is the Home Staging Talk Show Live, and our special guest today, you're going to be very excited. We've got two powerhouse staging company owners joining us today. And Home Staging Talk Show Live is brought to you by the International Association of Home Staging Professionals. I am the chairwoman. I am outside my house because our entire kitchen is torn apart, and where I normally do this in the house is the dining room, but the dining room has everything from the kitchen loaded in there. So I didn't really think this thing through. At least it's not raining right now. But anyhow, it's nice start to fall almost. Happy September, everybody. And as usual, I am going to do some announcements beforehand. If you can see me and hear me, go ahead and please make a comment. I can't see everybody's comments because we're streaming to multiple platforms. So go ahead and sign your comment so I know who you are. And again, we're doing this Facebook Live to our Home Staging Talk group, our Home Staging Talk page, and our YouTube channel. And so we are excited to be with you live. So I'm going to go ahead and do my announcements here. Get rid of this here. Okay, good. Hey, Bridget. Good morning or good afternoon. So first, I'm going to give a promo plug, of course, for our amazing, awesome conference that's coming up in February. So you want to start, finalizing your plans to get there, get your hotel room reservations. Don't wait. So if those of you that are watching maybe for the first time, we are coming to New Orleans. We'll be in New Orleans in the fall, and I'm looking for the graphic for it. And it's just so bright out here. It's hard. I'm sorry. I apologize. It's hard for me to see. Oh, here we go. Yay. Here we shoot. So the greatest show, that's our theme. And there's a lot of things we can use as far as that theme from the movie. Those of you that saw the Greatest Showman movie, if you haven't seen that movie, watch it. It's an amazing true story of P.T. Barnum and his success, comes from, rags to riches and then rags again and then rebuilds. And so it's a great story about not giving up, not losing hope. I'm going to shift over here. The sun is like super harsh. Maybe I'll just sit on the ground. Try to get a shadow here. Okay, let's see if this is better. No, not really. Boy, that sun is like super bright. I should have an umbrella, but on our deck, it's like super windy sometimes. And so the umbrellas tend to sort of blow away. I don't want to kill our neighbors. So anyway, our conference is coming up February 24th, 25th, and 26th in New Orleans. So get your ticket now to secure your spot. It's going to be an amazing event. We were one of the only people that held a live event last year. And so I think it's really important to get people together in person. And speaking of the conference, of course, we have our call for speakers. And so if you are interested in speaking, you can go to homestagingspeakers.com, homestagingspeakers.com. And I'm going to continue to kind of turn around here. I'm probably going to get sunburned today. Anyway, all right. And so submit. So, don't wait, because I'd like to be able to approve and announce speakers sooner than later, because that helps to continue to drive interest and so forth. The deadline to submit to speak is October 1st, but you again can get your submission in sooner than that. That also allows us time to kind of review and make sure that your topic is on topic as far as what we want to have people share about. So go ahead and get that in as soon as possible. It's a form you fill out. So your theme, you want to have it in the same genre theme of the conference, which is the greatest show. So do play on words. Like, for example, if you were doing something on organizing or, keeping your business organized, you could say something like, don't let your business become a circus, something like that. Anyway, you can use themes from the songs or just showcase your talent. You can use the word show in different ways. I just always like to kind of tie the theme in with the conference. And then, of course, after the conference, we will have 2 days of advanced stager training. And when you buy your conference ticket, you'll save money on your advanced stager training. So that is the 28th and 29th, no, 27th and 28th. So that should be Monday, Tuesday, following the conference. And it's a smaller group. Space is limited. And we really kind of delve into the pain points that people are having. You do need to be at 6 figures or above to attend the advanced stager training. or very close to six figures. And so, we want to make, because the reason for that is because the things that we discuss in, oh, good, Bridget. Yes, you have to submit. I want to have you speak for sure. The topics that we discuss in the advanced stager training are really for stagers who have grown to a certain point and do have the pain points. And even though we might address some of those topics in the general conference, we don't usually get to all of them. And so we want to have a time where it's very interactive. You're talking to your colleagues and so forth. It's not speakers talking to you from stage and you're taking notes and so forth. It's much more interactive. It's more of like a workshop, if that's a better word to use. So don't miss out on that. Space is limited on that. And so our conferences are always a getaway with a takeaway. So this year we are doing the Pro Stager 2023. So for a long time, we've had discussions about should there be continuing education requirements for stagers who are professionals in the industry. And, the general consensus was, yes, there should be something that we need to be doing on an annual basis in order to stay on top of the information and trends and so forth that keep us on top of the industry. So we will be issuing the Pro Stager designation credential, and there will be topics specific at our conference that will delve into the three areas that we believe are important. Number one, real estate industry trends. What's happening in the industry and how does that impact our businesses, and how can we be proactive versus reactive to things that are happening? So what's happening in the real estate industry? What's happening in the staging industry as far as trends? This would be really related to color and design trends and so forth. We want to stay at the forefront and not be playing catch up. Gone are the days, in my opinion, and hopefully those of you that are professional stagers agree, gone are the days that you could just go to the thrift store and find some old furniture and throw it in a house. I'm all for refurbishing and rehabbing furniture, painting it, giving it new life. I think that's an excellent business to have, but just finding some old stuff in a thrift store or cast offs or just something random in a house just isn't what the buyers expect to see now. So as a professional stager, and that's the operative word here, professional stager, we want to be on top of the trends and be leading the way, not behind the times by 10 years or so. And then the third area is business standards and practices. So making sure that we are, upholding our code of ethics, that we are operating our businesses professionally. And so, a lot of people, there's things that we always need to learn. There's new apps and systems that can help streamline things for us. And so that will be the three areas for that topic. People that are not able to attend the conference and want to receive that can do a test online to receive it. And so that will, hopefully be something that we are able to incorporate annually, because I think it is really important to have that. And hopefully you agree. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this right here. All righty. Of course, our conference is educational. You do tons of networking, but it's also fun. And we also like to give recognition. So this is the recognition for our gala awards dinner. And this is recognition for top categories like top vacant luxury, top occupied luxury, top team, and so forth. These are the individual or team awards that we recognize at our conference. The submissions for those have not been issued yet, and some of you guys were confused about the Best of Home Staging versus the IHOSP Staging Industry Awards. And so these awards will probably start getting nominations in November. So start looking for that before the end of the year. We'll put this out so you can start submitting for to be considered for the awards, and then voting will be done in January or early February. So that's the goal. And of course the gala dinner, it's going to be a theme. So it's the Mardi Gras, because it's New Orleans, Mardi Gras Masquerade Ball. And so gala, and you can wear costumes. You could just come with a mask and some beads. You could do nothing. It's just totally optional, but we like to have fun and have a theme around our gala. So that will be on Sunday evening of the conference. So make sure that when you're booking your travel, that you're not leaving before the gala, because that's sort of the big wrap up. We end up with, dancing and party. There's a sit down dinner buffet, most likely, and cash bars and other things that we'll be doing. There'll be a photo booth. So it's really a true celebration, the wrap up of our conference, and you don't want to miss that. So don't depart too early from New Orleans, and then get your hotel reservations, because the hotel, I know I have a picture of it in here. I apologize, I'm squinting because it is very warm here. It is hot as can be. Let's see here. We're having the conference at the Sheraton in downtown New Orleans. It's right in the French Quarter, and so it's a beautiful hotel, great location. across the street, all these really fun upscale shops. Then if you want something more local, you can walk. You can actually walk to Bourbon Street if you want to. It's about a mile away. And, of course, lots to see with all the architecture and so forth. So it's the Sheraton on the IHOSP Con Expo site, ihospconexpo.com. IAHSPconexpo.com. You'll see the hotel information. You need to reserve your hotel through the portal because we've negotiated special rates with the hotel. And every hotel, for example, has floor to ceiling windows that look out at the views. So it is a really beautiful location right in the French Quarter. All right, speaking of awards, I wanted to show this. So the Best of Home Staging, the contest, or the nominations, I should say, ended at the end of August. And so now I'm going through and compiling everything for people to be able to receive their official recognition. So these are the logos you're going to see showing up on social media for the different categories for people who were nominated and deserving of the recognition. And right now I'm going through and reviewing all of them. And so anyway, thank you to all of those who submitted. A lot of you submitted colleagues. You wrote the most wonderful things about them, which was so great. And I love reading all of that. And it's just really nice to see people recognizing their colleagues. And of course, some people self-nominated, which was allowed. The main thing is to make sure that the reason we give awards, and some people may disagree with me on this, but the reason we give awards is not to glad hand each other and keep it, internal within the staging industry. It's so the public knows that you're qualified and knows that you are a recognized expert and that you are an award winner. And so that's why industry recognition is important, because it's for marketing, and it's to recognize those that do excellent work. And in this case, with Staging Excellence, we recognize people who are industry leaders. And industry leaders, and I had put this out, are people who are actually serving in the industry, not just building a team or do a great job with clients. And so some people were nominated in that category that will not be recognized. So you need to be serving the industry in a official position with the board or a chapter. Maybe you're a mentor, you're a coach, you're a trainer. Somehow you're serving the industry and giving back and helping advance the professionalism of it. So that is the recognition for the leadership. And of course, Staging Excellence was based on the skill set, quality, and so forth. And then Client Care was really all about your testimonials and how your clients feel about your services and how you serve them in the best way. So those are the awards. These are the official logos again. So those will be coming out this before Monday. I'll be sending all of those out. So check your emails. For those of you that emails might bounce or something, I will find you on Facebook and I will message you your logos and your awards. So look for that. This coming month, of course, coming up is Worldwide Staging Service Week. This goes back to 2005. Since 2005, our members in our association have given back over $5 million in resources, time, talent, and so forth to deserving entities. It could be a homeless shelter, it could be a senior citizen home, it could be a VA place, it could be a military person, it could be a single home that they're redoing and helping beautify and stage and so forth, or it could be a larger entity that they're giving back to. And we had asked for people that were not sure what they wanted to do, or if you're not officially part of a Worldwide Staging Service Week event, give to the Ukraine, support Ukraine. And so our IHOSP Europe Association has an account that they are asking people to donate. It is a write-off, and that money is going directly to the refugees. There's no middleman. So they're going to purchase, household items or just help them get established. And so your money goes directly to those. That fund is managed by IHOSP Europe. Rena Mumford is the one who oversees that. And the funds, again, are going directly to these people to help them. So whether it's $5, $50, $500, whatever you want to give, it's definitely a worthwhile cause if you don't have an existing chapter project that you're working on. So it's a wonderful event mission. You can go back and look at the archives to see all of the Worldwide Staging Service Week projects that have been done through the years. They really are wonderful, and so touching to see all the responses. So far for our speakers, let me just quickly throw these up here. So these are the three qualified or confirmed speakers, I should say, so far for conference. And again, I'd love to see your face up there. If you have a topic that we will select, you're going to get your graphic and logo. So Johnny Fowler is a keynote marketing speaker. And people might go, why is he coming back again? Because he's amazing. And marketing, to me, those who market make it, you know that. And I've written a book on that. So we need to stay on top of it. There's been a lot of changes with Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn and so forth, and learning from somebody that is deep in the trenches, knows all the nuances and information, because he does such a high volume of business with these different entities to advertise his companies. He knows what it takes and knows how to also circumvent some of their algorithm requirements and so forth. So he's very knowledgeable. So I'm excited to have him back. Nikki Watson out of Dallas. So she'll be speaking. She has a huge business. She's on HGTV. She has a heart of gold, gives to other people. Her company probably has anywhere from, probably about 100 houses out at any given time. She just expanded into Atlanta. So we can all learn a lot from what she's doing. So I'm excited to have her as a speaker. And then Elaine Penhall, who's from England, and she'll be speaking on, she has a staging company that's very successful, but she has a mathematician background. I'll have her on the show. And but she is really big into statistics, and also has a company called Stage Flow that tracks your project from start to finish, including inventory management and so forth. And I'm excited to have her also having a sponsorship table at the conference for Stage Flow. And I know it's a great system. I'm test driving it right now. And so we're excited to have these 3 speakers confirmed. So if you want to be up there, get your face up on the logo, just submit your topic. You don't have to wait till October 1st. And again, I'd appreciate it if you didn't, because that would actually make my role easier to not have this big cluster that comes in all at once. And I can spread it out, and we can make announcements sooner than later for people who are approved to speak. All right. So I'm hoping my guests are coming in. I told them around 10:45 to come on. So let's see here. And my legs are asleep. I texted them. Where's my text? So I have Sandra Holmes and Blair Hamady coming on. And if you guys are watching, I sent you the link. So go ahead and click on that and just come into the studio. And need you on. Sorry, you guys, texting. Need you on. Okay. So why I asked Sandra and Blair to come on is because we are teaching the master's course in Plymouth, September 20th to the 23rd. If you've never attended the master's course, or even if you have in the past, it's a completely different master's course. It really is all about scaling your business and mastering your business as well. The logistics, your growth, talking about, exit strategies even. But in order to have a business that is sellable, that you don't just sell your stuff off and walk away, you need to have systems, operating procedures, things documented. And it's not hard to do. And so the scale program and the marketing program combined in there with the masters, and then the masters as well, the overall program that we talk about, your business growth, presentation skills, warehousing, shopping, wholesale, etc. Those combined, it's a very powerful session. So if you're listening and you are struggling with your business growth, you don't know how to get to the next level, there's a point where all of us, you're going to max out your ability to handle the volume of business. There's only so many hours in the day, and you don't want to kill yourself trying to handle everything yourself. So there's an important part called delegating that we'll talk about, and that includes finding good team members. So we'll talk about that as well in the masters. Where do you find them? How do you vet them? What their roles should be, and so forth. And if you don't get out of your own way, your company's never going to grow and prosper. So that's our goal in the masters, is to identify pain points in your business. We'll talk about your pricing and profitability and your overhead to make sure that you are profitable. I think there's a lot of business owners who are in business who are not making money, keeping money, I should say. You're making money, but it's all going to cover expenses and overhead. You might even be running in the red and you don't know it. And so there's ways to hopefully identify, if you're not profitable, how to get profitable. It could be as easy as increasing your volume. One of the big topics, of course, we'll talk about is marketing. How to get the business. How do you get the exposure? How do you keep that consistent stream of requests coming in? And a lot of it is relationship developing, but there's also marketing strategies we'll talk about that I can guarantee will give you results. So again, that's September 20th to the 23rd. And Sandra and Blair are my co-instructors. We are teaching this together. I'll be the lead instructor. Oh my gosh. Okay, my knees are asleep. Oh goodness, sorry. I have a head rush. I was sitting down on my knees, so my legs went to sleep. Anyway, so we are co-instructing. So I'll be leading the sessions, but it's nice to have other people there because they bring different perspective. So those of you that don't know Blair, of course, we're teaching in his design center and setting the space, which is here in Plymouth. And so we'll be upstairs in the design center. And to get there, you have to go through his fabulous store. He will do such a great job. So it's a really fun location. We can walk to all the places we're going to eat. Plymouth is such a cute town. A great time of year to be there. And so, but he's got a massive business. So he has, of course, done staging. He's done design, worked with builders. He's done short-term rentals. He sells, obviously his retail stores are a big part of his business. And just the way he even runs his warehouse with the ability for the public to come and shop every day from things that they're getting rid of. So the way he's constructed his business with multiple streams of income is really smart. So he'll be there, of course. And then Sandra, whose picture, Sandra Holmes on the left, she's out of South Florida. She has a large company that specializes in luxury, but they do everything. And of course, Airbnbs and, has a perspective from her aspect of growing her company, weathering different storms, and, still standing after market crashes and so forth. And so her company really helps set the standard, I believe, in a lot of ways for the niche that she serves. And so she has a lot of knowledge, been staging 15 years, I believe-ish. Blair about the same. So between the three of us, that's 50 years of experience you're tapping into, because I've been doing this 20 years. So make plans to come. And those of you that have asked, are we going to do another one? We do the masters a couple times a year. So the next one would probably be scheduled in the spring. Don't have a location yet, but we would probably take it. In the past, we've taught in Florida. We've also looked at Texas. So we will get another one scheduled, but at least this one is on the books for the fall, and you don't want to miss it. It's going to be a lot of fun, and space is limited. So we don't pack the classroom, because it just ends up being, we're not able to really delve into your personal businesses. So we want to make sure to give everybody there plenty of time to share and learn and take away vital information that will help them when they get back to their home and implement all the recommendations. So Sandra and Blair, if you are listening, you just said, what time now? I am live. So hopefully they'll come on. And if not, we'll have them on next week. There might have been confusion about the schedule. So let's talk about the market, though, because I was going to ask them about what's happening in their area. And my feet are like asleep, tingling. I'm just going to stay up on my knees. So those of you that are obviously staging, market has shifted all over the country. And so what does that mean for staging? You should hopefully be getting a lot more requests for staging. Vacant properties occupied. We've increased occupied requests. And why is that? Because as the market slows, and it's really kind of adjusting to more of a normal market, the market that people experienced the last 2 years, it was not a normal market. And with the increases in equity, and it was just a crazy feeding frenzy. And so I personally am glad that it's sort of normalized, because that could not be sustained. I think about people who are trying to purchase properties that were just, beat out over and over again with these, 20 offers on a house and what have you, and people paying way more than they should have for a property because they just wanted to get something. And so the market's not it's not crashing. So don't even go there emotionally or mentally. What it is it's just normalizing. And so it's still in different price points. It's still a seller's market. I find that as they get to the higher price points, it shifts to a buyer's market. And so the marketing strategy these realtors have to implement has to shift if they expect to get these properties sold. And the pricing needs to be in line with what the market will bear as well, and not be overpriced. Staging and pricing have to be balanced. It's important as a stager that we are educating our clients about that, because sometimes the expectation is, oh, I paid to stage the property. Why didn't it sell? And then they want to blame the staging. Well, it's not the staging, it's the price. When the property is priced properly, and again, there's a price range that realtors will put together. There's a range based on market comps. They're going to be a high and a low. They're going to take a look at the competition, what has sold. That's their best numbers, what's sold. What's actively on the market doesn't really mean anything until it actually gets an offer and closes, and you actually have that numerical data. Although the buyers are going to be looking at everything that's out there. So the houses that are presented nicely, that they're staged, they're more visually appealing. Those are going to get the attention over the ones that are sad looking, not depersonalized, they're cluttered if they're occupied, or they're just empty, versus a property that's staged. The staged property will always sell for more than in the marketed non-staged competition. And that's a fact. That data is available on homestagingstats.com. Also, the NAR profile of home staging. So it's important as a stager that you also shift. And this is not the time that you need to be dropping your prices, right? You're in more demand. So you don't have to drop your prices in order to get business. In fact, those of you that are watching, if you're really not sure what you should be charging for your market, reach out to me. I'd be happy to educate you based on where you live. I've taught all over the country, I've taught in Canada, even overseas. So we know what the value of staging is based on the different markets where people are. And you don't want to be leaving money on the table, and you don't want to start lowering your prices to undercut, thinking, oh my gosh, I'm scared because the market's shifting. Am I going to have business? My prediction is that stagers are going to have more business than they know what to do with. And there are also stagers who are, leaving the industry. Again, if you are thinking of doing that, you want to sell your company, if it's a profitable company and you have that well documented, you have your systems and so forth in place, it's a marketable entity that somebody else might purchase versus you just selling off your stuff. There's a stager here locally that's doing that. And I'm sort of surprised because she's been in business for 10 years and is choosing to, do something else with her life, which is fine. However, the goal with what we educate people about is don't just have like a fire sale or garage sale or whatever and get rid of your items for pennies on the dollar for what you paid. It's equipment or assets to your company that help generate revenue. And so somebody could walk into a revenue generating company and acquire that and purchase it. And that could be worth a lot of money to you. So if you need information on that, there's several people that teach on exit strategies. Joseph Hecker teaches on that. Edie Keach teaches on that. Leslie Kramer teaches on that. So there's people that we have within our staging family that can help you understand the strategies for making a change in your business or your life, and being able to monetize what you took all these years to create and build. But my prediction is that stagers are going to get more requests. You're going to get busier. And it's the real estate agents that now have to educate the sellers. The sellers need to shift their expectations of being able to sell at just whatever price they feel like they want to get. And we are staging a property on Tuesday that's been on the market for over 85 days. And they finally made a switch in real estate agents, but they were listed 35% more than what they paid for it in December. And there's no way they could justify that price. So sellers can't just throw their house in the market and put some unrealistic price. It's not backed up by data at all and expect to get that. Those times are gone, especially for a higher end property. So the properties need to be priced right. And because they maybe aren't selling as quickly, we need to start educating our clients that things might not be 30 days. It might need a 45 or a 60-day term. So think about how you might have to adjust your proposals and so forth to accommodate the market. And again, you don't have to give money away. Staging is still the best investment to get a house sold. A price reduction on a $500,000 house is going to be, $10,000. And depending on your market, that's probably not going to be the value of the staging. And so, because a $500,000 house here might be $800,000 in, another part of the country, or $1 million in another part of the country. So it's all relative, and the seller always nets the most in the sale. Traditionally, the realtor gets paid on the final sales price, and they make a nice income. And so the stager, we are an important part of the process. And now is the time to be reaching out to all of your real estate agents and talking to them about a shift in their marketing strategy to include staging from the beginning. With the way the market was in the past 2 years, year and a half for sure, you could put something on the market and you'd pretty much be guaranteed that you would be getting an offer unless it was just really a dog property. Even that, investors were snapping up. The strategy now is that you don't want to test the market and just, let's put it on there and let's see what happens. Best foot forward. First impressions matter. One of my analogies I use with marketing and teaching and so forth is when they look online at a property, it's an interview. And how many of you have ever gone to an interview and, you don't show up in your pajamas, you show up, you're dressed nicely, you have your, hair combed, you're, you look good, you pull yourself together, and that's presentation. First impressions matter. So when they're looking at those pictures online, that's like an interview. They're taking a look and saying, am I interested in learning more and seeing more with this property? When they go in person, it's a date. So they're actually saying, I'm going to go set an appointment. I want to see this place in person. And then it's all about matchmaking, making that perfect match. So, we need to educate our clients on the first impressions really matter, and they don't want to waste time and dollars sitting on the market. And then the longer they sit on the market, the more likely they are to have what? A price reduction. So I believe one of my guests is here in the audience in the studio. Okay, so I see, is this Sandra? So Sandra, hello. I'm going to bring you in. She should be counting down. Hey.
Hi.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, good.
How are you? I'm outside, and
I see you're outside today. Is it nice out?
It's nice, but it's also because my house, there's literally no place for me to film because the kitchen's torn apart. That means everything went in the dining room. So the dining room I can't even put anything on the table. I can't even get to the table.
Ah, okay.
Oh, hey, you're here. Let's see. I've got to find Blair now. Are you with you? Where are you? Let's see. Okay, let me try to find your, whoops, what happened? Sorry, go back to the studio. This thing is so bright, it's hard for me to see. And I don't have I'm outside because inside is just a disaster. We are redoing our kitchen. And so anyway, things have gotten delayed. So I have no dining room, no place to set up shop. There you are. I don't have an umbrella either. Hi.
All right.
Hey, we're here. Good to see you guys. So thank you for joining me. And I was just sort of biding time, kind of sharing information. So wanted to have you guys on. Just quickly tell people who you are. So Sandra, go first, and then talk about your company, the market where you are, how it's shifting, and then we'll just touch on the masters.
Hey everybody, this is Sandra from Lux Home Staging and Design at Sandra Homes. And we've been doing staging here in South Florida for 18 years now. And the market is hot as ever in South Florida. For the last couple of years, they were flying off the market with multiple offers all the time. And of course, we had the realtors that said, oh, we don't need to stage. It's going to sell anyway. And then we had the smart realtors who did hire us to help them get their sellers top dollar and also for them to earn higher commissions. And of course, all along, it's really enhancing their brand. So since some of the interest rates and stuff have changed, or, what's going on in our current marketplace or world today, things have slowed down a little bit. I know that we've been seeing a lot of price reductions going on. August historically has always been a little bit slower for us over the years. We've been very productive all along. I mean, don't get me wrong. We're still, staging and doing that, but it's just not going crazy. A lot of it has to do with people taking their last vacations, school starting last week. And now after now, everybody's going to be getting ready for the boat show. And then, of course, season, kicks in. So we're getting ready to be, super, super productive. But, so we're down here in South Florida. We do from Miami to the Palm Beaches. And if you want to pay us extra money, of course, I go to the Keys and any island you want me to go to.
That's right. We'll go anywhere for a price. And I love that you shared the market cycle, because there's people that are posting like, and is anyone else slow or whatever it is? And as a business owner, we have to know our business cycle. So August is a slower time period right here in Denver. This week, Labor Day tends to be sort of slower because it's the last hurrah.
Right.
So you need to know your cycles and then not panic when maybe the phone isn't ringing as much. Now is the time, if you know there's a lull, use that to organize your warehouse, your business. Take some time off yourself, because when things get slammed, there ain't no such thing as a holiday for stagers. When
there is no holiday in this business. And the thing is that I feel like when people say they're slow, it's like, well, are you only offering one service? Are you only offering staging? Because, again, even with the last couple of years, what has kept us super, productive is, we've done a lot of short-term rentals and furnishing those. We've done a lot of people couldn't get furniture. So we decided, even though in the past I always said, no, nobody can live on the furniture, But, we had at least 15 to 20 clients that rented furniture for a year. So basically they're buying inventory for me. And then, and then doing interior decorating and design. So you just have to have other things that you do and not just count on one thing
Good
to
point.
stay to stay busy.
Absolutely. Really smart. All right, Blair, let us know who you are and what's going
Who-
on.
So I'm Blair from Setting the Space, and actually we are hosting the event. So if anybody wants to come and see our very, very cool what's happening with Setting the Space, I would say sign up immediately because there's a lot of cool things that are happening. For those of you who don't know what we do, we have a lot going on. So we are very, very productive, and we are always very, very busy. The retail atmosphere is crazy. So what happens is when staging has slowed down a bit, because yes, we were in the exact same place that the world was staging. I mean, houses were selling within 2 seconds. And I agree with what you said, Sandra, that our realtors that glide, they stopped doing staging. So of course we saw a decrease in it, but the top producers never stopped staging because they knew, of course, and they knew they were going to get well over asking price. They were going to get even more. So we always had our top realtors use us constantly. And now, of course, on our other part is the selling is just out of control. We have so much stock available, as far as our staging stock goes and as far as our retail stock goes, that it's out of control. The market here typically will die down the week of school when people go back to school. So for us, they're going back to school this week. So this week is dead as can be. Labor Day will continue probably to be a little busy over the weekend for retail, but we won't see any of the stagings happening until probably more mid-September. But what's happening is the realtors that haven't been calling me now are coming out of the woodwork.
Absolutely.
And have quite a few large projects that were actually in panic mode because all of a sudden everybody needs it right away.
Right.
But to Sandra's point, diversify, and that's what we've done. And then what's interesting, and I think the reason why I was a few minutes late getting here is because we're working on a new, we're calling it a media kit. So we're about to launch this magazine, if you will. Yes, we're about to launch this magazine, and what it is that Setting the Space is not only retail, and it shows all of the different types of businesses that we run. And when we do have some downtime, which is very, very infrequent, we love to be able to make sure that we're doing something. So right now we're really upping our marketing, and when you guys see this new brochure that we're making, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Can't wait to see it.
Yeah,
when you come to the Masters, he'll show it to you.
you see it.
So let's talk about the Masters, and I'm so glad to be able to be there with both of you. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But why should people watching, maybe they've had their business, they're doing pretty well, they have income coming in. Why should somebody come to the Masters course?
I'll take that on.
Yeah.
I can tell you that right now, even back 18 years ago, and I took the ASP course, and you learn a few things, right? And then you go out there and you do what you can to make it happen, but there's just more information or to learn from other people. It's the same thing as going to the educational conferences that we have, to be around your peers and those that have been in business a very long time, and helping you to grow your business and giving you different ideas, I think is so key and so critical. I know that after I went to the master's course, and this was many years ago, I took it with Barb, and that course has changed a lot. My business exploded after that. And so if anybody's looking, if you're a hobby, so if you want to take your to the next level, then I highly recommend that people sign up. There's probably only a couple seats left, right, Jenny, for the master's course?
There's like maybe 3 spots left.
Right, which, by the way, is at Blair's, one of Blair's stores in Plymouth at Setting the Space, which is an amazing store, and his whole design center upstairs. And so I could say, with even us being there, whoever else is coming to teach too, to give input, you're really learning from the people who've been in the business very long. and are going to help accelerate what you're looking to do in your business.
Right.
Right.
And I agree with you. And I think the other thing is that we're in a very weird time. I mean, we have just come off of houses selling in 2 seconds. So you're going to see a major shift. And I think you also need to be around people at this point to start listening to, that we are all in the same boat. Sandra's market is ridiculous, but at one point it will slow a little bit down. Our market has always been very strong. But what's happening here, like I said, is that they need staging more than ever. And, you need to have all of these tips. You need to surround yourself with the most successful people. And, I'm going to toot my own horn. You have the opportunity of coming out here to Plymouth and seeing our operation. And it's quite impressive. And you're going to go back home and you're going to want to, do as much as you guys know that, though, as much as you.
Right. So
because it includes a warehouse tour also. So one of the reasons when we teach the masters, we taught it in Fort Lauderdale and had the privilege of going to Sandra's beautiful warehouse. I think it's important, to see that and be like, wow. I think it sets a goal for a lot of people and builds belief as far as what you can accomplish in a staging company. But you don't also have to have a massive warehouse, but just seeing the operation and then the different income streams too, I think is super valuable.
I think that's one of the things that really has to be taught to everybody at this point is that it is extremely important to understand that you can take one business and you can turn it into multiple teams. And I will tell you right now, for a lot of people, if you don't do that, you may not succeed.
Right.
And it's not just about, owning inventory or warehousing or logistics or, marketing or, social media. There's so much nuggets on every aspect of running a business. And sure, maybe when you signed up, you're like, oh, I love HGTV or, oh, I love decorating houses. And now it's getting real for you out there. I see questions come across social media groups all the time in the industry. And people are asking questions that, man, this is something that we talked about, 10 years ago. But I get that they're new. It just means they have not had additional that they need. They maybe not even know how to run a business, but maybe they know how to make a room look good.
Right.
They didn't even want to own a business. They wanted to work for someone else. But if you're in it and you're in it to win it, then you might as well come and learn from the best in the industry.
And things are changing, and that's the stuff that we're going to be able to teach you and show you that things are changing. Everybody hears the word pivot, but you absolutely have to pivot. If you don't understand how to pivot, that's stuff that we're going to teach you as well. So I think it's highly important to come on board.
Absolutely. You guys are so great. And being able to get around, Sandra said it earlier, your peers, whether it's at a conference, a class, a networking event, whatever, it's important to get around like-minded people. There's a lot of, our industry is not that huge, but we are a microcosm of the real estate industry. And so, I attended an event in Dallas. There was several thousand people there, probably 5,000 to 10,000, so that would be like 10,000 people might be like every stager in the world, getting together an event. So we don't pull those numbers for our conferences, but the people that attend those, that was a microcosm of a much larger pond. And so it's the people that really want to learn and advance and grow that go to the events, because you've got to get around people who are where you want to be, who can get you to where you want to be and are open to sharing the information. And so I just want to, say lifelong learners or lifelong earners. I love the diversification. You do need to diversify, whether it's, I know Bridget was on here. I don't know if she's still watching, but she does, for example, holiday staging. She stages yachts. I think she's getting into like luxury RVs. So you carve out these different niches. The holiday staging has nothing to do with selling a property. Neither does Airbnb, home makeovers, redesign, shopping for people. There's a lot of niches that we can carve out. And because as a stager, we're not limited on our income like a real estate agent. They can help buyers and sellers, and they might be able to have niches within that, but they get their commission based on a property selling. We're different. So you don't want to limit yourself and, your goals for your business. If this is something that you're doing to sustain yourself long term, you do need to pivot, as Blair said, and you do need to learn. There's only so much you can glean from posting a question on Facebook and relying on the answers from people who are willing to share. It's investing in yourself. It's a very small amount compared to the value you're going to get. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in September.
It's going to be cool.
Jenny, how many master accredited staging professionals out there right now? What do you know that?
Well, I think over time, there's probably, I'd say like 400. So it really puts them in an elite group as far as current, because, people have aged out. I would say there's maybe a couple hundred, few hundred.
Yeah.
So it's not this massive number. It's just from a marketing standpoint, is that where you were going with that, to brand?
Well, it's marketing, and I think it really, I know that it separates you from the best when you are out there speaking to customers, talking about the additional education that you've had. And I think, and I know actually that the self-confidence that you gain after attending this course
Huge.
is really huge. Plus, well, not only having fun with all of us and, in the Cape, right, in Plymouth,
Right.
but at the second time to see an amazing operation and to build these lifelong relationships that whenever you need anything, because it is such an intimate group of people who are, masterminding together, that you can always reach out to them and, and for additional support even after the class is over.
But that's priceless. That's priceless, because that's what I explained to people. The last time that we had hosted it, I met so many new friends and colleagues, and people, reached out to me for a long, long time, and I was there for support. You have to, it's power in numbers, right? If you don't have someone that you can talk to in your own industry, sometimes you're going to just feel like you're completely alone, and you think that it's only happening to you. And I think that, out of everything, I think that's probably one of the most powerful things you can walk away from.
It's one of the serendipities, the intangibles.
Yeah.
You can't even put a price on that, the relationships. And, there's other, groups that you might have learning, events and so forth, but this one actually gives you credentials and accreditation that's the highest in the industry. So from a marketing standpoint and branding, that's huge to be able to say I'm an accredited staging professional master, because you are part of the elite. It's the top in the industry. So invest in yourselves and come. We are going to have a great time. I've missed being in person. I'm excited to come out and see everybody. And so any last words?
Sign up immediately for the last few spots. That's all I can really tell you. You will not be disappointed.
Right. And how do people sign up, Jenny?
Good question. I was just going to put it in here, stagehomes.com. And so you go to the website, you're going to click on home staging courses, select the master's course, and then you can see everything that's offered, and then register. And there is a code called ASPM. Oops, I got to put it in caps. ASPM Fall 500. That will save you $500 off the course tuition, and you can put that in it right with the payment portal. So that's a total bargain, because we don't usually, give value away, but it's important to get people there. And I know flights and so forth. Oh, and by the way, those of you watching, Blair also has is it Turo or Truro?
Turo, T-U-R-O.
Turo.
We have
the ride share.
Yeah, we have 8 cars if anybody needs a car rental.
Right. Well, I rented a van.
I know. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
So we'll be able to shuttle people. We're staying at the Holiday Inn, Hilton Garden Inn. And so then that's where, there's other places there, but we do have a van. So if you need to get picked up, we can definitely coordinate that. So, and if you've already taken the master's course, but it was like more than 5 years ago, this is not the same master's course at all. Some of the elements have transferred over, but instead of rehashing the 3-day and delving in, we've taken it to, okay, this is where you are with your business. Let's get you further along and address a lot of the pain points that you're having. So you can repeat the course, and I think it's $9.99 to repeat. And there's also a $200 savings for existing masters to take a refresher. So come and
plus, Jen, doesn't that include like lunch and
what?
Doesn't that include that price includes lunch and food? And
so we have the dinner on Friday. The graduation dinner is included. No other meals are included, but we do go out as a group. So we reduce the price down so people, because with food and stuff like that, we
right.
controlling that. Yeah.
So there's the graduation on Friday.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be a special dinner. Plus you get the scale manual, the ASPM manual, marketing book, other goodies that we're going to be bringing along to give you. So, it's a great class. So thanks you guys for tuning in. Thank you for joining me, Sandra and Blair. I appreciate it.
Yep.
So when we say goodbye now, we'll be back next week with another show. Until then, have a great weekend. Enjoy Labor Day. Hopefully you guys can help get a few hours to relax.